Okay, welcome back to another video. So today we are going to be covering the CyberTruck's infotainment system. So it's a little different from other Teslas in the way just that the UI is laid out is a little bit different. This is your main home screen when the car is in park, or the truck I guess is in park. So you have this little 3D terrain right here, and with this you can actually press and open the front trunk. You can open, and it actually is an animated graphic, and you can zoom in and out on the graphic, and you can close it from here. You can open your charge port, and when you do that, it'll bring up your charging menu, your a percentage, and then you can close the charge port. You can change your ride height from high, medium, low, and entry. And on this little tile down here, it actually says your ground clearance. So if I go up to low, it'll increase to 8.4, and that was a very fast increase. And if I go up to high, and it goes all the way up to 12. You can also see your tire pressures on this little screen and your total height right here. You can see your trip status, odometer, sense charge, see your efficiency, and also you can open and close the tonneau from here and your tailgate. Up here, you have your state of charge. You can tap that to show your mileage. This shows that's your lock-unlock button. This is your location sharing, so that icon pops up when the phone app is requesting its location. Here's your driver profile, so you can save different seating positions for different people that drive your truck. And then this, I believe, is to stop and start the recording for the Sentry Cam. And then also up here, it says to fasten my seatbelt. So when I do that, it will say tap to activate drive, and that's referring to the brake. So if I push the brake, it starts, and it automatically selects drive because we're backed into a parking spot. And then you also have your swiping for the gears on the display, and then you just hold for park. Pretty simple little home screen. You also have a little navigate thing and a little tile that shows your media. We're not going to go to the car settings yet because there's a lot to cover here. So we're going to go to the climate menu. So you can swipe up for your climate menu. You can adjust your air positioning like you do in every new Tesla now. Heated and cooled seats right here that you can select from. You can heat your squircle. You can adjust your fan speed. You can adjust your temperature by sliding right here. Up here, you can choose where the air is going. You can choose automatic. And then over here, you can actually schedule a time for the car to precondition, or not precondition, but condition the car. You can also have keep climate. So this will keep the climate on its current setting on auto. You have dog mode, which will be if you have a pet in the car, and then you have camp mode. You also have this thing that says rear, so you can actually adjust the rear vent positioning, and you can adjust that, and you can also adjust the rear fan speed and the direction of the air. So that's your climate menu. First off, you have this thing that says rear. This emulates your rear touchscreen on the primary screen. So you can actually adjust the fan speed from here. So this is basically, you have your fan speed adjustment right there. You can adjust the air vents right here. You can do some presets for the air vents and move it up or down. You can actually move the passenger seat forward and do some seat heating. You can look at the music. You can actually watch a YouTube video on that rear display. You can also lock out the rear display if you don't want people using it. Anyway, that's the rear display app. Next, you have the nav. Nav is pretty simple. You just have satellite, the traffic visualization, the road names, and then you can search for superchargers. This is to change the direction of the map, and then you can navigate. So you can do charging, food. If I click lucky, I guess that takes me to wherever it thinks, I guess. Oh, it's just random places. Okay. So yeah, very simple navigation. Next app, camera. Pretty simple. So this is the only Tesla to have, well, maybe the Refresh Model 3 has it, but you have a front camera and your side cameras, and you can actually press this little button and it'll spray the front camera. You can swipe up and then you can see your rear camera also. And these cameras, when I close this and then put the signal on, the camera will pop up right here, and I can actually move it around into different places. Next, you have the dash cam app, which is for your Sentry Cam. So this was a while ago, so we had our doors open, and it shows all the angles that you'd be recording with Sentry mode. That's pretty simple, self-explanatory. You can also look at different dates going back. And then you have the energy menu. This is a very useful tool. This is a very useful tool because it shows your projected energy usage. So it says we've used 0.1% less than the estimated power, and you can see what is consuming more energy than it's supposed to. So plus would be using more than estimated, and then minus would be using less than estimated. And then there's also range tips. So if you're driving too fast or something, it'll give you suggestions. There's also a thing to show when you're parked, so your screen time shows you that. So it's used 5.6% more than vehicle consumption over the whole charge since we last charged it. And then you can actually do current drive from here also, and then park, obviously. The next one is the phone app. So you can connect your phone via Bluetooth. You can also see your contacts and stuff, but I don't have my phone synced, so I'm gonna skip that. You also have your calendar app. Oops. Your calendar app, which also connects to your phone. You have messages, which also connects to your phone. Then you got the theater. So this is basically the same thing as the back, except you have the added option of TikTok on here. So then you can search for your YouTube videos and stuff on here. And there used to be a thing for Tesla tutorials, but it's not on here for some reason. Next up, you have arcade. So there's a bunch of different games. So you have like 2048, like the little swipe lock game. These are kind of useful if you're supercharging, but so that's pretty useful. You can swipe down to exit, and there's a bunch of different games like Sudoku and Fallout Shelter and a bunch of different stuff. All right, next, the toy box. So you have the light show. So you can schedule the light show for the Cybertruck. You can do the boombox, which plays sounds outside the thing, and you can also play the current song outside the car if you do play current media. You can do megaphone, so that's talking on the outside. You can do replace the horn, so you can choose different sounds, and it plays that on the outside if you want. And then there's also the emissions mode, which is just the fart mode. And then you also have tracks. So this like lets you build a song almost. Like, I'm not very good at it, but you can do it. Yeah, that's pretty fun. You also have the romance thing, which just puts a fireplace on your thing and turns on the heat, but we don't want the heat. There's also a sketch pad, so you can like draw. So like, you can draw high and not very well, and then like a smiley face. Mars, this just turns your navigation. Oh, it changes that too. I didn't know it did that, but this changes your like terrain thing to like a different color, and it changes your navigation to the surface of Mars. I don't know who would actually use that, but you could. Next, browser. So this is just a web browser. You can go, let's go to Wikipedia. Why not? Right there. Go to here. Cybertruck. Tesla Cybertruck. There you go. You read a Wikipedia article about the vehicle you're in while you're in the vehicle. So that's pretty not useful. It's not really that useful. You just go on your phone, but you also have the Cybertruck owner's manual. I'm not going to go through this all. It's pretty in-depth, but it just goes over like your charging and how to clean it is a very important thing too. Charging and energy consumption. There's a bunch of different things in here. You can sign up, you can link your Spotify to the car. You can also link, well, that's Bluetooth. You can connect to a Bluetooth device. TuneIn is like a radio service that you can use here. There's also regular FM radio if you're into FM radio. Note, there is no Sirius XM, which is, Teslas have never had XM. I really wish they did though, because I feel like that's just a missing feature. Because every car has XM. Streaming, so this is just like, not TuneIn, but this is just like Tesla's own streaming thing. Karaoke, so you could, this actually like, will like play the lyrics as you drive or something. So like, it's like a karaoke thing in your car, which is kind of interesting, I guess. Yeah, there you go. Next app, you have Tidal. It's another subscription thing that you can log into. And then finally, Apple Music. Another thing you can log into. These things right here, these you can actually drag into your dock, and you can actually like control them right here. So if I put the left and right seat heating, the steering wheel seating, the wipers, I'll put the wipers down here. Boom. Put all the different apps. I'll put the energy graph down there in the nav. Boom. There you go. Customize your little hotbar. So that's really nice. So then I can access the wiper settings easily. So that's the main UI. Now let's go into vehicle settings. Now this is where it gets a little more interesting. So you have, first off, you can search for settings. We're gonna start off in the controls tab. Can I make that bigger? Okay, so controls. So we have fold mirrors. Then there's a thing to adjust the mirrors, which I use the buttons on the steering column for. And same for the steering wheel, although for some reason this steering wheel doesn't want to move for whatever reason, but that's how you would adjust it. There is a ride height control right here if you don't want to do it there. You can also open and close the tonneau and open the tailgate if you don't want to do it here. There is a car wash mode. You can activate neutral, in case you need to be towed. You can turn on and off sentry mode. You can turn on the child lock, and you can do both rear doors, the left or the right. You can lock the windows. You can change the display brightness. You can do your headlights on, off, parking. Glove box. This one has a pin, but then you can open the glove box. And yeah, that's the controls tab. Next tab, dynamics. So you have comfort mode, which is chill acceleration, relaxed handling, and higher preferred ride height. Sport, standard acceleration, focused ride and handling, lower ride height, and then you can do custom, which is a mix of the two. And then you have off-road. So it has a little thing that says just basically don't use it on road. You have overland and Baja, and there's 4 different overland modes. You can do all-purpose, sand, gravel, or rock. You can do hold or roll. Trail assist is a feature that's coming soon. And wade mode raises the ride height and pressurizes the battery when driving through shallow water, so water can't get into the battery pack. And when you'll notice when this pops up, it shows your motor temp on both motors, your battery temp, and the ride height for each wheel. So then you can also toggle that if you don't want that. And then switch to Baja mode. So your deceleration mode, you can do high or standard things. And then you can also change your power distribution. So you can do front wheel drive or rear wheel drive. You can do whatever you want with that. You can also reduce your stability control, turn off your traction control, and then you also have wade mode here. So you could technically drift this if you wanted to, because you could make it rear wheel drive. Oh, it gives you a 0.5 mile per hour thing in the off-road modes. Also, it's not regenning anymore. Next tab, towing and hauling. So you have trailer mode. There's for the trailer, you can adjust your brake gain, and then you can use the right scroll wheel to control your trailer brake, and you can also have adaptive regen, and you can do a light test for your trailer. Next tab, charging. So it says your current state of charge. It says 80% recommended. Charge limit is set to 85, so we'll set that back to 80. You can open the charge port, adjust the amount of amperage that the chargers can pull. You can schedule different charging. The last paid charging session was $16.43, and then there's supercharging tips. Outlets and mods. So this is how you turn on the power outlets. So you can turn on the bed outlets and the cabin outlets. You can turn on power feed to the roof and power feed to the frunk. You can also enable cabin outlets on entry. Keep on power outlets. Here's autopilot, which is kind of ironic because the truck doesn't even have autopilot yet, but you can do traffic aware cruise control, change your following distance, traffic and light and stop sign control, set speed, speed limit or current speed. You can have an offset speed. You can do a speed limit warning. You can do speed limit relative or absolute. I'm not sure. So this is like an offset. Okay, so relative is offset, absolute is just in general. Forward collision warning, you can adjust that. Lane departure avoidance. Next tab, locks. So you can see all the phones and keys that are connected. You can do the child locks again. You can lock the windows, walk-away door lock, driver door unlock mode, car left open notifications, and then you can link your MyQ to the truck. There is no home link, interestingly. You just have to use MyQ. And then next tab, lights. So there you can change your lights. You can also do this in the controls tab. You can do auto turn signals. So when you change lanes, the signal automatically turns itself off, which is super nice because the turn signal buttons are on the steering wheel. You can change the bed light brightness, or you can just have it on auto. Accent lighting on the dashboard. So this is like changes the little RGB strips on the dash. You can turn on the dome lights. You can turn on the footwell lights. Next tab, display. So you have you can change it to dark mode. I think dark mode looks a lot better, but we'll keep it on light mode for camera. You can do reduced blue light, which automatically adjusts to warmer colors at night. You can have it show the CyberTruck logo when you turn the truck on. And you can change the brightness from here also. And then you can do the rear view camera. I'm assuming that's when the tonneau cover is closed so you can see out. And then the automatic blind spot camera, that's that thing. Screen cleaning mode. You can also lock the rear display here. So you can clean the touchscreen with a soft cloth. You can also change the time and all the units. All right, next tab, trips. Just shows you trips. Current drive, since last charge, trip A, trip B. You can also rename the trips if you want to. Navigation. You can change the navigation volume or you can just turn it off. Use HOV lanes. You can turn that on or off. You can tell it to avoid tolls, and you can add it trip planning and all the things related to navigation. Safety. This is where you turn on Sentry mode, and you can have it exclude home or exclude work, so it won't record when you're at home. The dash cam. You can also have it when it's So when I press the horn, it'll save the dash cam. You can also delete and format the USB drive. Pinned drive so that you can enter a pin. So like when you get in and push the brake, even if you have the key, you still have to enter a pin. You can also limit your speed. Joe mode reduces the amount of, or the loudness of the chimes. And then this is your parking brake. So then if I press that, then it'll apply the parking brake even though it's really already applied. And then the power off thing is right here. Then you have your service menu, shows your tire pressures, it says the recommended pressure. You can go the owner's manual, you can adjust the headlights, calibrate the seat and steering, notifications, saved light, oops. Camera calibration, you can clear the browser data. Jack mode, I guess, is just like to take the wheel off easier. Finally, you have the software, so you can see how many miles. This is VIN 720. 720th one. Full self-driving computer, software update preference, you can do standard or advanced, and we are on version 12 for the software. And then finally, upgrade, which there are none, because this is already pretty maxed out. You can also rename your vehicle here. So yeah, that's basically everything in the infotainment system. It's pretty comprehensive. It's got a lot of stuff in here, and I didn't even go into the owner's manual at all, because I didn't really feel like it, but yeah, but there is a lot of stuff in this, and it's quite a lot to do in here. But yeah, that is the infotainment system on the Tesla Cybertruck. I will link some other videos I have on the Cybertruck when I put them out. So, see you guys in the next video.